Okay, lesson 8. So just a quick synopsis of what we've done so far. So what you should have done is a context sheet, initial thought sheet, product analysis of the dual case, and then product analysis of a different form of CD packaging, which is lesson 7. You will have started that process. So this is your context sheet. Do you remember I mentioned this in the last one? So context sheet, spider diagram, the problem, the client, and the initial plan. Then we've got the initial thought. So this is before you've done any research. You've had a bash. You've identified potential problems. Then those problems have indicated what research you might need to do. So you might think, I've got no idea how big the CD is. I don't know what materials I might make them. I don't know what the surface graphics need to do. How are you going to find that out? So if you're thinking about doing a rock band, then you might say, well, I need to look at some rock albums to give me some ideas about the aesthetics. Moving on, your product analysis will look like this for the dual case, where you're looking at all these discrete areas to make sure it's a perceptive understanding of the product, and then we might have some supporting diagrams to support your annotations. This is where we might be up to from our second form of CD packaging. So we looked last lesson at function, aesthetics, then we did information, dimensions and scale of production for a different form of CD packaging. In this particular case, it is a piece of software packaging, but I did the Back to the Future DVD on the video. So these are the aims. So again, the aims are still the same. So we're trying to do a different form of CD packaging. We went through the assessment criteria, and we're trying to get specific terminology into there as well. So we're looking at, remember, a 3-part structure to your annotations. You have your statement, followed by a conjunction, and then your reason. So you might say, for instance, the material used are going to be made from a lightweight solid whiteboard because, and then what are the properties? You can print it, you can fold it, you can cut it, and you can recycle it after use. And it comes from a non-renewable material, like trees. Then you've got your terminology table that you can use as well. Went through this last lesson. So if you're unsure about spellings or getting that terminology, you can have a look at some of these words on here to try and include them on. And it's got the topics along the top to indicate what you're currently talking about. So these are the 3 areas we want to look at today. So we're going to look at materials, then industrial processes, then we're going to go back to social, cultural and environmental issues on the side. So if we're looking at materials, again, if you're unsure about this, you've got these 2 links on the side. Again, the similar links to when we did the dual case, but it's a different type of plastic for this one, for the DVD case for mine. And then we've got the boards as well, so you can use those. A couple of questions to help you, you can use those. Then we've got, if I move on, we're going to then focus on industrial processes. So again, if you get stuck with this, make sure you contact me so that I can help you. So again, I've broke them down into categories. So how is it printed and why? Try not to do the same printing processes if you can, but sometimes there may be some overlap, so I'll come to that on the next video. How's it? What colours have been used and why? Then we've got construction, and then we've got any plastic manufacturing taking place in there as well. And there's a couple of questions here that you can use to help you, and you've got other questions on here. So if you're struggling as to what to write, have a look at the questions. Then we've got here social, cultural, environmental issues. Again, you've got your links here, suggestion of the bulk of them are all to do with the environment, but there might be elements to do with the social impact of the product, particularly if you're watching movies. You know, sometimes there might be an educational film, or it might be there might be a cultural reference in the film as well that you can comment upon. So you can look at those, or the front cover, I should say. That's the thing we're looking at. Or for instance, it might have, particularly the parental, the society one, you could talk about any parental advisory stickers on there. So particularly the A certificate, you know, they might be deemed not appropriate for children under a certain age. So you can get that under the social section. So it starts to should look like this by the time you finish, that it's concise, condensed, and you're looking at all the different areas on there. Okay. The next video, we're going to look at the actual analysis, the application of that.